And Gradius, you got a sweet new mace, and then you guys pressed on to Kingsgarden. And so you guys are, it's the start of day 7. And you find your way at the gate. I need to roll on the weather table. Somebody roll a D100.
No Darren today?
Yeah, you're Darren today. All right, 91. Ooh, all right, so it is unseasonably hot today, and there's scorching heat.
I can feel the swamp ass already.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so blistering heat is unpleasant to travel in. You will need double the amount of water today.
Well, good thing we're in town.
Yeah, good thing
Yeah,
you
I was
made it
about
to
to say. Looks like we'll be staying in town today.
All right, so you guys make your way towards the gate. The outer wall of Kingsgarden is about 50 feet high. So these towering, massive white stone walls, and so you make your way towards the gatehouse. Is anybody doing anything, or are you just going through the gate?
I guess we're just going through the gate.
Okay. All right, well, you make your way through the eastern gate here, Gold Road Gate, and into the city. And as you enter the city, you hear this familiar voice calling out to you from across the way.
I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear it and keep walking.
Can I make a perception check to see who it is?
Sure.
All right. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and have my owl do it.
Hooty-hoo! All right, with the 20, you turn around and you spot Gallandan. Gallandan Moonwhisper.
I say shit under my breath.
Who must be AFK right now.
Hey, what's up, guys? Glad you could make it.
I'm going to say the milk thief is back.
I bought these for you, and I hold out a bouquet of flowers to welcome you to Kingsgarden. Welcome. It took you long enough to get here.
Maybe they just ignore you, Gallandan.
I'll answer Gallandan. I'll stare at him, kind of puzzled, and ask him how he got here so fast.
Yeah, what?
I'm going to ask Gallandan how you managed to get here so quickly.
Well, I took that moon bath. And I'm an elf. That's what I do. I look at the dwarf and I'm like, I think they used to make these guys a little faster when the giants were tumbling around. Maybe now they're a little fat and happy. But
I'm gonna glare at him and then say that we're short distances.
You cut out.
I'm gonna glare at him and then say that we're great over short distances.
Hey, who takes? I bought flowers. Somebody put them in the inventory, okay?
I'm gonna pretend like I'm putting them in a bag and I'm just gonna throw them on the ground.
I want you to take them and write Gallandan's flowers in your inventory. Well, I don't know. I'll say, let me guess, you guys took the road.
Yeah, and we beat up some mean old bandit people too. And some goblins. And an orc.
That's the one I was there for, no.
No.
I don't think you were there when we were doing it last week.
Was it last week? Okay.
Yeah.
He was taking a bath.
That's right. Well, I suppose someone should welcome you here in this fine city. Most people don't get that kind of treatment, so you're welcome.
All right. So you guys step through towering gates and onto streets that are designed and built to make those walking them feel insignificant. The city of Kingsgarden has a palpable sense of power and vision on display here that is unlike anything you have ever seen. What surrounds you inspires sensations of awe and wonder as the monumental weight of what fills your view presses in around you. Vast waves of people are funneling through the gates into the streets. Above you, towering buildings reach skyward. As you walk, you note the intricate and precisely laid paving stones being tread under your boots. You're bombarded by sights, sounds, and smells to such a degree that before long, they all seem to merge into one great sensory assault. Within the sprawling streets, there are businesses, people, services, merchants, sights, refreshments, and entertainment. You think to yourself, there must be something for quite literally everyone here. So as you stand just past the gate, there's a trumpet blast that comes from somewhere behind you and a call of make way.
I'll go ahead and shuffle off to the side of the road.
Okay.
Sensory overload.
Yeah, I guess. I should have known putting that in there was just offering it up. All right, so Savik, you move to the side of the road, and the crowd around you parts. Thundering hoofbeats pound up the street, through the gate and up the street as a man clad, in blindingly polished armor rides past, a great flowing cape of the deepest, richest purple streaming behind him. In his wake ride several more like him, but still more richly adorned and at a more leisurely pace. In their midst trundles a gilded wagon with crests and motifs demarcating what can only be nobility or even royalty. The escort of guards vigilantly shields the carriage from any approach as they move steadily along. Off into the crowd on to your right, a little boy sits astride a man's shoulders, watching the carriage pass, eyes wide, mouth agape. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wave at the carriage. It's clearly somebody important.
I'm gonna look
Okay.
at I'm gonna look at the little kid and be like, "Who is that?"
You ask the kid?
Yep.
Give me 1 second. He says, that's Lord Bruce's carriage.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask if he's the guy that adopts kids and ignores them.
What?
Is it is that Bruce Wainwright?
Yeah. Yeah, Lord Bruce Wainwright. I swear to God. Damn, I wasn't expecting you to guess that.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, for real. That's his name, Lord Bruce Wainwright.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we gotta fight Batman.
I must have read that in the history books from the far future.
Yeah. Hey man, if you make a joke about something enough, it might end up in D&D. I remember when I introduced House Wainwright in my first campaign, and you were like, Bruce Wainwright. I thought, maybe someday.
Don't forget about Wayne Knight Wainwright.
That's what it was. So yeah, if you wished, you could you could take a look at the trundle carriage and look at the emblem.
All right. I'll go ahead and have my familiar look it over. With the vantage
I should really
advantage.
I'm gonna update this. Let's see what you roll. 19. All right, so it looks like this. I'm gonna put this through my image processor here, and I'll have a better. Oh, that's right. Discord doesn't let you just copy and drop stuff.
Copy dropsta.
Copy dropped. Black creature on a field of like gilded yellow.
Okay.
And if you want to know more about the history of House Wainwright, you can make a history check.
All right, that was going to be my next question.
Sure, man. If you'd like to make a history check, you absolutely can. 17. All right, with the 17, you're able to recall knowledge. Maybe you learned, since you're from a different plane, maybe you learned this on the road, talking with the guards or your companions. But House Wainwright is one of the oldest houses in the history of Aurelius. They were once loyal to the Republic, but redeemed themselves during King Valus's conquest when Taryn Wainwright surrendered the castle to King Valus and bent the knee, swearing loyalty. So for that, he was given a pardon and he swore not to raise arms against his father, Lord Heron Wainwright, who attempted to summon the Pit Fiend and destroy the country. At the conclusion of the war, like I said, Lord Heron was pardoned and went on to serve prominently in the Dawn Wardens, rising to the rank of commander and saving the kingdom during the second Rusvari invasion when the Dragonborn attempted to invade Morales from the south through the Hot Gates. Commander Taryn Wainwright led a detachment of heavy cavalry south and crashed into their rear flank and scattered their army as the infantry mopped up what was left. Sadly, he fell in that battle, but his descendants have continued to retain prominent positions within the kingdom. Lord Bruce's grandfather, Gerald Wainwright, was advisor to Prince Alatar and was killed during the coup attempt in the year 401.
Okay.
I know that's pretty comprehensive. So, the Cliff Notes version of that is they're a very old and powerful and influential house in the kingdom with a storied history.
All
It'd
right.
be a shame if somebody ruined that history.
Listen, I don't care what happens. Just know if you're ready to go full murder hobo, I mean, it'd be a shame if some crazy monster showed up.
That sounds like a threat from the DM, doesn't it?
No. I'm just saying you don't know what could happen in the world, Anything can happen.
Like the DM makes us all roll characters that he intentionally wants to kill just so he can have a power trip.
They weren't your characters. They were stat block characters.
And we beat him the first time, which he was blown away by.
Sentient Railroad CR21. I didn't expect you guys to survive the ambush at the lighthouse, but you did. And so, that was the next part of what happens in the prologue. If you don't believe me, I wrote it out like a year ago.
I'm just joking.
I know.
Are you sure that wasn't what they call a scam bush?
Scam bush, yeah. Yeah, it was really something. You make a new friend and they tell you to walk to your death off the top of a tower. All right, so yeah, Lord Bruce Wainwright arrives in the capital, and you're able to recall some of the history of House Wainwright.
Okay.
They were on the Wainwright side of history, am I right, guys?
Yep.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? You're in Kingsgarden. So you enter here on the road. So to your right, as you enter through the gate, you spy the blue rooftops of the military quarter, and to your left, these kind of gray tiled rooftops of the Noble District.
Okay.
I like that the city's color coded so I don't get lost after I buy the Dragon's Breath.
Thank you. I was thinking of Stormwind how Stormwind is all segmented by colored districts. Color coded, I should say. Maybe I should choose my words carefully. All right, well, you guys let me know what you want to do.
Is the
Should we
Has
follow the caravan?
yeah, has the caravan is that all has the caravan ended?
Yeah, so the procession dwindles down the boulevard, and many of the people there are still wide-eyed.
Okay.
So yeah, the procession makes its way down the boulevard. Visit a tailor and get paid, I assume, for your bounties.
Oh yeah, I guess we should.
All right. So if you,
Finish up old business.
sure, if you wanted to visit a tailor, you can make your way to the trade quarter to the south. And if you wanted to redeem a bounty, there's a couple different places you can do that. You can find an officer at the Adventurers Guild on the west side of the city. You can make your way into the military quarter to the Dawn Warden headquarters. Or you can try and find either a shade agent or try and speak to someone at the guard barracks.
Depending on who we take the bounty to, will we get more money?
That's a good question.
Okay. Let's get all three of them into a bidding war about who's going to pay the most for Jack Black.
All right, so yeah, a couple different places you could go. Adventurers Guild, military quarter to the Dawn Warden headquarters. Try and find a shade agent or speak with an officer at one of the City Watch barracks.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, Willibald is with you. I should probably resolve.
I'm just going to walk up to one of the townspeople and ask them if they know out of, the Adventurers Guild, the military barracks, or the armory or the army, who usually pays the best for bounties.
Okay, roll a D100.
Okay.
Let's see who you end up talking to. 63. Okay. Ooh, interesting. All right, so you run into a halfling cleric. She has tan skin and blonde hair, and she's wearing these kind of like ornate robes. Let me look where she's what temple she's with. She is a cleric of Ogma. Okay, so you come up to this cleric and you're going to ask her where's the best place to turn in bounties.
Yep.
She scratches her chin and she glances up towards the military quarter and she says, as far as I know, you can always try up the Dawn Warden headquarters. She said, or if you're up for a walk, the Adventurers Guild will always pay good coin. It improves their reputation in the city if they bring the bounties in.
Okay. Does the Adventurers Guild not have a good reputation?
She says no, they have a fine reputation, but they're always competing with the wardens.
Okay.
There's a little bit of pride if they can say that they paid out the bounty instead of the military.
I'm having flashbacks to Scryer, Aldor, and chat.
They hate you. Wow.
If we choose one, the other will hate us.
we could always, well, yeah, I guess we could always, no, that's never a good idea.
You want to just each take a head and go?
I think we should take them all to the same faction, but we should decide which faction we want to take it to.
Why don't you make a history check, Galandan, to see which group is most revered by the city? Open up your. Oh my god.
Wait, Sabik could just know. He could do a history check to know which one ends up the most powerful. So we know that we choose the side of the winners.
All right.
Metagaming through
Did someone?
futuristic character.
It's a good thing I have my Kingsgarden history book that I packed for my
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, good thing you brought that Traveler's Guide to the Material Plane.
Yep, I was right on point with Bruce Wainwright.
I couldn't believe that.
All right. Here we go with the history check.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
$11?
Yep.
All right, here's what you know. You know that the Dawn Wardens have a rich and storied history within the kingdom. After their triumphant victory in the last war alongside the Wood Elves of Ashmark and the Ashwood and the Dwarves of Clan Durnharrow. They made a heroic stand at their line of battle outside of Adekin and defended the kingdom from what would have been certain annihilation. The City Watch, on the other hand, at this same time, had traitors within its ranks and led a coup and an uprising during a period of mourning for King Varn. So while they serve to protect the city, they're not the most revered amongst the people. The Adventurers Guild was founded shortly thereafter by King Alatar. They have a good reputation amongst the people of the city and the kingdom, known for taking jobs that perhaps the military would not have. And yeah. The Adventurers Guild kind of like Cluggies. I mean, you'd have to go check it out. Like Cluggies from when we were kids or Cluggies now? Because I don't know if you've been there recently, but gritty.
I'd be okay going to check out the Adventurers Guild first.
Okay.
I guess they would probably also have other open contracts and whatnot too.
Sure.
I'd be cool checking out the Adventurers Guild.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know where you guys want to go first, or if you want to split up or what you want to do. So while you were standing there trying to figure out where to go, Brother Willibald kind of meekly stepped between you all and says, well, I must be going. I have to return to the church and report on what's happened. He says, but I owe you my life, and please stop by when you get the chance for your reward. And he says, Lathander bless you. And he's going to make his way down to the Church of Lathander.
All right. Here we go to the Adventurers Guild.
All right. It'll take you a couple hours to get over there.
Okay.
Damn.
It's a big city, man. All right.
Yeah,
so,
they didn't make cities that big back then because they were prone to getting sacked then.
well, there's been 25 years of peace, my dude.
It's crazy how we're starting a campaign. The peace must continue.
That's more years of peace than the United States has had.
Yeah, but we're funded by war. That's literally half of our economy. Like, if we're
Yeah.
not at war, then our
Yeah.
economy fails.
You're right. You're right.
When you spend more than the next 26 countries combined, you kind of have to keep doing it.
All right. So you're gonna go down the noble district. All right. So as you enter the noble district, the people here stroll along broad avenues, mostly keeping to themselves. Though as you make your way through the streets, an occasional nod or a good morning in greeting is tossed your way. The streets here seem big enough for two large carriages to pass, with space left for pedestrians to walk comfortably. The roads are paved, tree covered, and have lamps at regular locations. Many of the buildings here are made from stone, timber, or brick. And what residences are within this district have high privacy fences to keep out the riffraff. You guys can start moving.
What kind of riffraff goes on here?
I don't know. Maybe.
Looks like some ruffians up to no trouble.
Yep.
Guess you could ask somebody. Just walk up to their porch, offer them drugs, and ask them if they hear dem crickets. You hear dem crickets?
I don't hear nothing.
You guys can keep moving. If you want.
Let's visit the garden on the way.
The garden? Okay. All right, so you make your way to the edge of the Noble District, and ahead of you looms. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up my description for this. Okay, so ahead of you, massive space. It almost looks like a park. Wide copses of trees stretch along the boulevards and out into the fields of lush green grass. You can hear many different types of birds singing overhead in the trees. And if you wanted to take a walk through the park, through the King's Garden, as they call it, you would find statues of the Aurelian kings or important members of Aurelian society throughout the years displayed as a reminder of a forgotten age. Many of the trees here are fruit bearing, and the kingdom will harvest the fruit regularly and distribute it to the citizens. Also, citizens are free to come here and pluck fruit from the trees if they're hungry. It's part of King Alatar's gift to the kingdom.
That's not very classic of them, because normally these are the king's lands. You have to get permission to hunt.
Actually, there was a king, maybe he was like a Prussian king or a French king or something, and he was trying to introduce potatoes to the people, but they thought of them as poor people's food. And so he had a bunch of them planted in his garden, and then people started to steal them because they thought, well, the king eats them, That was just a fun little historical fact I read.
Yeah.
But something else about Auralis is that in the year 371 of the Common Era, they suffered a terrible famine. And after that, this space was traditionally just rows of like pine trees, evergreen trees. Much of this space was converted to give the populace a source of food. Yeah, birds. The bird is the word.
So we're heading over to here, right?
You guys were going to head over to the Adventurers Guild, I thought, which is over here.
Yeah.
I like how you're moving with the mug. All right, so you spend some time walking through the garden. You feel like
clearly the road.
No, I know. You feel like you could spend a whole day here if you wish, just enjoying nature. And it's strange that this kind of lush park that's built into the middle of the city is so quiet and serene with all the hustle and bustle around.
All right, Central City. I'll be back.
Central City.
Or Central Park, sorry.
It's not supposed to be like Central Park, but it's just similar.
Yeah, I think that everyone's going to mistake me for the pigeon lady, though. Throwing seeds on bandits. So the guards can come get them. Because they're setting fireworks off.
The power of bird shit. All right, Gradius, so maybe you're not that impressed with the garden, so you make your way into the Temple District. And as you make your way through here, there's the throngs of people around you kind of increase and gets a little bit busier. So as you make your way into the Temple District, an acolyte in dark blue robes sweeps off the steps of the Temple of Tyr. To the left of you, it's a massive structure. It's a large white stone cathedral. The streets here are wide cobblestone, and many of the buildings here are made from white stucco, and they have shale roofs. Houses of worship are typically white or gray stone buildings, as varied in their construction as the gods themselves. Great cathedrals, churches, temples, and chapels line the streets of this district, home to most, if not all, of the clerics, clergy, and lay staff of one's house of worship. What are you kids doing in the park?
You don't want to know what two grown men are doing in the park. Good night.
You talking to the birds, Gallandan? Do you speak with animals? Yeah, I guess you would, wouldn't you? No, you're a fighter rogue, not a ranger. Well, unless you can speak avian, they just chirp at you. Unless you have to speak with animals.
Fucking Cinderella over here.
Are you a ranger? I thought you were a rogue fighter. Doing sneak attack damage. Open up your character sheet and tell me.
Oh my god.
I'm having flashbacks to the fire spell being cast by a cleric again.
I have fireball. Are you sure? Unless I gave out a staff of fireballs. Hey, Emoji Man.
Yeah.
Are you a ranger?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You speak with animals?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have that, you can cast it.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. You think about it. Oh my God. All that. What about you, Savik? You doing anything?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm
All right,
just
Gradius. Sorry, you go ahead.
yeah, I'm just trudging along through and taking in the sights of King's Garden.
Okay. All right, Gradius. Well, unless there's something you want to do in the Temple District, you can feel free to keep moving. You can. He counts Goodberry. Okay. Maybe Kyo's AFK.
What'd you ask me?
I said you can keep moving unless there's something you want to do in the Temple District.
Okay. I guess let's keep moving.
You're going to go down to the Taylor Gallandan. You'd have to come down into the trade quarter.
Wait, is the guild place?
It's over in the Commons.
Okay,
Proper-
let's stop down here real quick.
Oh, you want to go to the Taylor?
Yeah, real quick.
What are the rest of you guys doing? You staying with him or are you going your own way?
Well, if he's going to the tailor, I'm gonna go pick up some drugs.
Okay, gonna try and
You,
find
you,
drugs.
you know us dwarves like our cocaine.
I'll tag along if we're going down to the trade district and whatnot.
Okay.
Find the best and the finest, the best tailor. The one that makes the finest clothing. Not, Durgan Jack Off or whoever on the corner. Just
All right. Well, you can ask for directions or, geez, what would that be? Survival check? No, probably not. You could make a perception check to try and find a tailor,
I have an idea.
or you could just look at the map.
I will go take one of the flowers from Gradius, Broken Iron's bag that I gave him. And we'll look for a pretty young lady to ask for directions. I will extend the flower and display his unstoppable charm.
All right, roll a D100.
Is this the girly table?
It's the NPC table. 41.
Ayun na din naman po pinapalik.
All right, so you're looking around and you spot two females. There's a halfling with straight black hair and soft blue eyes, with wearing well-made clothing, and she's sitting there strumming a lute. Then you see a female dwarf priestess. She's short with copper hair and gray eyes, wears modest garments, has an amulet with a luminous crystal around her neck, numinous rings, and a heavy tome in hand.
We'll go up to the fine lute player and compliment the playing and the handling of the strings and the remarkable instrument. Extend the flower and then ask where the tailor might be.
Okay. You better move down here.
I'm looking at the dice roller screen.
You better move closer. Okay, so she takes a moment to, she stops strumming the lute and looks up at you. And when she sees the flower, she kind of smirks at you and reaches out and takes it and sticks it behind her ear there. And she's going to nod down the street here. She says, when you get to the square, turn west and head about halfway down to your outside the Ring of Valor, and there's a tailor called Make It So.
I'm gonna say we shouldn't go there. It's a poor name.
It's a poor name.
I feel like they're really stitching together.
Oh, sige, ganun na lang. Ma'am Jocelyn?
She takes umbrage to your comment, Gradius, and she points at her garments, which you notice are very well made. And she says, they made this.
Fairness naman po sa mga nandito.
I'm gonna tell her it would look better on my floor.
Oh.
Na yung Saturday po na sinasabi ninyo.
She raises her eyebrows at you.
Tatawagan ko kayo, ma'am, sa
Galandian, she looks at you and smiles, and she says that her name is Drosa.
You spell that. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Runestar. You said it was a halfling?
Yeah.
Black hair.
And blue eyes.
Okay.
Well-made clothing. Drumming a lute.
Okay. I go to the tailor then.
Okay. All right, let me read this description. So the roads of the trade quarter are quite wide, excuse me, but still chocked full of caravans entering and making their way through the city to leave. There are taverns and brothels that dot the district as merchants peddle their wares here, some in open fronted buildings. So the teamsters and guards aren't slowed by any pesky doors. Barkers work the streets, selling warehouse space, grain, or asking passersby to purchase things. In the distance, the Ring of Valor towers above the rest of the trade quarter, its blood red banners fly in stark contrast to the brilliant blue skies above. Most of the buildings here are constructed from timber and stone. What do you wish to do? Anybody? Bueller?
Guess we're following Gallandan to the tailor. Because he needs his Michael Jackson glove.
Okay. You guys can move. Oh, I should describe the temple. Never mind, you guys moved already. All right, so you make your way down to the tailor.
Okay. I go in, I talk to the tailor, and I asked if they can make white gloves.
All right. You go into the tailor and oh man. What's the name? Okay, so you go in and there's a half elf in there named Tobin Hambletone.
Did you say Tobin?
Tobin Hambletone.
Hambletone.
The tailor. That's like having the driver buff, but not as good. All right, so he sees you walk in, and he's got shoulder-length brown hair. He's wearing a nice, high-quality vest and trousers to match, and a set of spectacles. He looks up at your approach and says, "Gentlemen, come right in, come right in. How can I help you?"
Gentlemen, did you just assume my pronouns?
He just kind of gives you a backwards look.
Give him a forward look.
He says, of course not, customer.
Why?
mean,
What
do
do I
they
look
really
like?
know pronouns back in that time?
Probably not.
I'm just picturing that video of the lady guy in GameStop.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna have to get make white gloves.
Okay.
I need 2 of them for the same hand.
What material?
What the finest?
He gestures around the shop. You see everything from fur to wool, linen, leather, silk, heavy fur. I don't know. You know, it's a tailor. He said, we can make almost anything.
Moonweave.
We? He says, me and my partner.
I mean, dude, I think a mage weave. Okay, how about the best silk?
Do they have exotic cloth? Hmm. Looks like there is no official source of exotic fabrics or textiles, but spider silk was a thing in 3.5 and 4th edition. They have Fey weave armor, which is armor woven with techniques perfected by the Eladrin. Star weave is fashioned after patterns created in divine domains in the Astral Sea.
Any of those sounds great if they have it.
He says, we don't have the star weave. He says, we could work with the spider silk. He said, but he cautions, it's expensive.
I even want to know what the price is. I'll say, that's fine.
Are you gonna ask him what the price is?
No,
No?
no, that's the question that,
Or people ask.
yeah, exactly.
If you have to ask what the cost is, it's too much.
And then I'll just ask about how long for 2 gloves and when do I come back?
Let me just take a look and see how long that will take. He says he could have them done in. That doesn't make sense. Give me a second. 2 gloves of spider silk. He says he could have them done in about 20 hours. The material is delicate and rare. We have to take great care when crafting with it. It's very expensive to import. And you don't want to know how it's made, he cautioned.
Okay, well.
I'm gonna ask him how it's made.
He looks at you and kind of pulls his spectacles down his nose. He says, "Are you sure about that?"
Yeah.
Okay. You asked. He says, if you're lucky, and by lucky I mean lucky enough to survive, you can extract it from a drider and then weave it into the material. Or the less savorier method is to use Aranea.
I'm gonna ask him how much it sells for.
Does anybody, Savik, the name Aranea might perk your interest, the mention of Aranea. Oh, Savik's AFK. Damn. Kind of wanted him to roll to see what that was. All right, I'm going to add this to the notes. All right, so he starts writing out the bill of lading for you, and he signs it, and he looks at you and hands you the quill, and he says, "I mean no disrespect, but you can pay, can't you?"
I'm wearing fine clothes.
Okay. He says, "I mean no disrespect." He says, "I ask everyone who comes in here, noble and lowborn alike."
Of course I can.
He nods at you and gives you the quill and asks for your signature.
I sign.
Okay. All right, so you sign. He reaches out he offers his hand to clasp your forearm. Yeah. All right, so after a minute, he's going to withdraw his hand. And he'll nod at you and say, "Come back in about 20 hours and I'll have the gloves finished."
I'm gonna ask him where's a good place to stay.
He looks at you and depends on what you're looking for, he said.
A comfortable bed and good food.
He says they have a little bit of everything in the trade quarter, if you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna ask if he's suggesting a.
He says, I make no judgments on anyone. We're interested in.
I smack my mace down on the table and say, "Do I look of a man that needs the warmth of a woman?"
He, he looks at you and says, well, they have boys too.
I'm gonna lift it up in
They're
like
men,
an
not
aggressive
boys,
action and say that if he makes a comment like that again, the mace will connect with his skull.
He kind of narrows his eyes at you and he says, careful now. Don't make threats.
Just, he's being a pompous asshole.
A 1. All right, so you just give him a little smack. Okay. All right, so how are you back giving him the backhand?
Yeah, like as he's mid sentence about like, don't make threats you can't keep. I just like smack him right in the back, right in the face.
All right, and Gallandan, you're gonna draw your bow. Are you guys about to rob the tailor? Can you just tell me if that's what's gonna happen?
You're the one that made him a pompous dick, and I don't
No.
take that shit.
All right. Well, I didn't make him anything. This is just the way the gods made it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna stand outside and make sure that no one enters.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Wait, before you go outside, he made mention of something that perked your interest, and he said Aranea, and you might recognize that. They were asking how the spider silk was made, and he said it's harvested from driders or it's made with an Aranea. And if you wanted to, you could make an Arcana check to see if you can recall anything about it. You don't have to. It perks your interest. Save it.
All right, I'll definitely do that.
All right, so with a 16, you're able to recall that Aranea are intelligent, shape-changing spiders with sorceress powers. In their natural form, an Aranea resembles a large spider with a pump-backed body, a little bigger than a human torso. It has fanged mandibles like a normal spider, 2 small arms, each about 2 feet long, that lie directly below the mandibles. And so it can shape change into a human or bat.
All right.
And he said that was the less favorable and more dangerous than
Okay.
from the Drider. All right, so with that, yeah, you can go out.
All right.
All right, so Gradius, you smack him, and he kind of stumbles backwards and drops his quill and touches his face, and he stands up straight and narrows his eyes at you, and he says, you'd best get out of my shop now. And I won't call the guards.
I'm just gonna say to him, wouldn't you need to get out of the shop to call the guards?
Make an intimidation.
Yeah, he doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing, Gallandan? Just standing there.
I'm trying not to get worked up.
Are you assisting with this intimidation check by also being intimidating?
I'm not trying to be intimidating. I'm fighting for my honor.
Yeah, I'm
He's
making
trying
sure
to say that he's insinuating that I sleep with boys. So
Well, he just wasn't sure what you like. He said he makes no judgments. All right. So your words have a little bit of an edge and kind of take him aback. And he looks at the two of you and he nods and he says, I would have to leave to tell the guard.
and I'm just gonna point at the door with my mace and say, "Is that the door behind us?"
He nods defeatedly and says, it is.
I'm gonna say, "So here's what we're gonna do. For that comment, I will forgive you if you give my man Gallandan here his gloves for free."
Kind of blanches at your statement and he says, for free. He says, do you have any idea how much spider silk costs by the yard?
Oh, I guess that must be more than your life.
Make a persuasion check.
we're here to rob you, but we first got to get our masks from the tailor.
We'll be back. Well, the 13, he shakes his head and he says, I can't give them away for free. He says, I'll sell them to you for a discount, a good discount. It's
I'll
the,
step in at this point,
okay.
and I'll say that I will. I don't want this to be a big I don't want this to be like a big misunderstanding. I think we all got on the wrong foot. For my man or dwarf's honor over here, you can still give me the gloves at a discount. I'll just purchase something at an up count next time. I'm sure I'll be needing your services again, and wish to foster a working relationship. So, for his honor, a discount for my gloves, and we'll continue a working relationship here. We got that?
All right. Roll charisma. All right. You make a good argument, but he doesn't seem too swayed. He says, I can do 30%.
I'm gonna say that's fine with me and start walking towards the door.
Okay.
So we'll
All
just
right.
come back tomorrow and rob him. I just call this aggressive negotiations.
Okay, Anakin.
I hate sand.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys leave, he kind of like let exasperated sigh, like, oh God, by the gods.
Soft times create soft people.
Indeed. Yeah, so you guys exit out of the tailors and you're in the trade quarters. So anywhere else you'd like to go while you're here?
Nope, I think we're off to the Fighters Guild.
You never found out where you should stay.
Oh, well, he told me to sleep with boys, so I'm going to ask somebody else.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go get a beer.
I'm good to go to the Adventurers Guild.
Okay. Yes, Gallandan. What kind of inn are you looking for? The opposite of a sausage house. Well, maybe you should ask somebody on the street.
Yeah, well, the last time you had us ask something, you made a homophobic slur towards me.
No, if anything, you're the hum smacking him when he said that they have men there too. That's a hate crime.
How's that a hate crime?
I guess it's assault. Well, you don't know if he's,
Listen.
Fucking sausage
Could've-
bullshit.
I could have easily whooped his ass, but I didn't. I showed restraint because I am a man of
A
God,
dwarf.
or a dwarf of God. But I don't swing that way.
Understandable. All right, Gallandan, are you going to approach someone on the street?
I want to use like survival.
Okay, to try and just find out what the best. You could certainly find out what the best tavern is in this part of the city. But you might have to go around and check out some of the others.
This is what the trade quarters,
Yeah,
and we got other places.
yeah.
Common, military.
Noble District, Temple District,
Ooh, noble district.
Arcane Quarter. Arcane District, sorry.
Are there any inns in the noble district or no?
Yes,
Rose and Crown.
there are two inns, Kyle, the Rose and Crown. And the
I don't
bar's right in.
remember that one.
Yeah, I never remember it either. I just remember some man with a mustache poisoning.
The Dancing Lion.
Yeah, there's a Dancing Lion in as well. Darren's not here to appreciate that joke.
I'm gonna vote for either one of those two, but that's for later, I guess.
The Dancing Lion or the Rose and Crown, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you just let me know. There's a couple. The inns in the city will always have that type of. Like they always kind of look like this.
Okay. I see. That's cool. Home Depot.
Yeah, you should go there sometime. Their slogan is, let's craft something together. Please don't sue me. Anybody that finds this. All right. So what do you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can start to make your way there however you choose. I don't know who's moving, if anybody. Don't all move at once, guys.
I hear they have some stiff drinks.
Yeah, I heard that too. Can't quite recall, but I heard that. All right, so you're going to make your way into the Commons. All right, so you cross the Southern Bridge here into the Commons, which is the largely residential part of the city. So as you make your way through the Commons, you spot an old olive-skinned man in faded blue robes, wearing a wool cap and smoking a pipe, sitting on his front porch. As you make your way through the residential streets, the smell of beer and freshly baked bread mixes with the smells of sweat, urine, and spices in the street, making a dizzying bouquet of smells that assault your senses. The houses on this street are made from stone and timber and no more than 1 or 2 stories high. The streets are crowded and bustling with activities, the activity of throngs of people making them. You guys can keep moving if you want.
The bearded clam.
In the bank?
Yeah. All right, so you make your way towards the northern part of the Commons, and the houses appear to be a little bit nicer up here. There's a large warehouse and a shipyard here at the edge of the Andalos River. You can hear sounds of the workers there sawing, hammering, crafting ships that will eventually reach the North Sea. And you guys can keep moving. Why don't you move a few? And then somebody roll a D100. 96. Okay. All right. Gallandan, you make your way. You make your way through the city streets, and you can see the bank in the distance. And roll a D6. Roll a d6. Okay, 2. All right, all at once, a woman barges out of the house on the side of the street that, as you go walking by, and she's carrying a wooden rolling pin. And she comes up and shouts at you, and she says, "There you are, you son of a harlot."
At Gallandan?
You know, at Gallandan. She says, "Don't play the fool with me. You know what you did. Get over here."
This must be some kind of misunderstanding. I've never even, I haven't met you, Myth. What's your name?
She says, "There you go again with your honeyed words." She says, "You know what you did. Where is she?" She snaps her fingers at you. She says, "Go on, tell me where she is, or I'll call the watch."
I'm gonna try to persuade her to calm down.
Yeah, because that works to say.
I'm just gonna make eye contact and say, relax. Like a command word, relax.
Why don't you roll?
I mean,
hope-
if you're telling a woman to calm down, you better roll a nat 20, because if not, she's pissed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna refer to my previous role, which was a 1.
Of a 1? Is that what you rolled?
The last time. Okay, I better roll. I'm actually gonna say something like I would come out of the house with a rolling pin. I was just walking by here. This must be the comments. Thinking how much better your house looked like than anybody else's, and smelled like there was. What did it smell like? Any food coming out of there?
Like baked bread.
I was just thinking how it smelled the aroma of bread, and then out you come, and I don't know anything about what's going on. So I try to tell her I'm just strolling by, basically, just thinking nothing but good things, and all of a sudden this.
She glances behind her at her house. She says, "You want some bread, do you?"
I'm gonna nudge Slavik and ask him if he thinks Gallandan has gotten her loaf before.
Well, I'll look at the others like. Well, I would love to have some bread, but I don't want to invite a whole. I look at the others. I don't want to invite a whole. What I keep saying, family. I don't want to invite everybody over to eat up all your house.
She looks behind you at your companions and then looks back at you and she says, "Oh, well, I wouldn't expect anything less. First, you run off with me, daughter. Now you come to eat my food. Oh, you can have some bread. I'll get you some bread, you bastard. And you can choke on it," she says. And she waves her rolling pin in your face.
Damn.
"Where's me daughter?"
We can help you find her. What's her name?
"Oh, you know damn well what her name is. She ran off with you."
Oh, thanks. Sorry, but there's a lot of names to keep track of.
She raises her eyebrows and you can tell that really makes her angry. "A lot of dames, is it?"
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Well, 13 doesn't calm her down.
She asks about Muriel.
Okay, would I know who that is?
I don't know.
Hmm.
No, probably not. The 13 calmed her a little bit, and then she saw your companions, and then you said there were a lot of dames.
Well, but who does she think I am?
He says, I know you from anywhere.
Young man.
Hi. Last time you was in town, my daughter ran off. Ain't seen her since. It's been 2 winters.
Okay, yeah, Relman looks like me.
She says, what do you mean? You are Relmarin.
I don't know about that. We'll get to that in a minute. And, with Relman, and Relman, he's also 6'2", tall, handsome, long flowing hair, white smile, irresistible charm. I don't think there's 2 of us, lady. I mean, that's not working in my favor, I say out loud.
She narrows her eyes at you and gets real up close to your face and gives you like inspects you, like looks you over. And she says, it was you, all right. You damn wood elves.
What excuse me, I'm a moon elf.
She scoffs. She says, a pointy ear's all the same. She says, you bring my daughter back. I'll lodge a complaint with the Adventurers Guild, and the Gold Road Companions won't get any contracts. So she drops this name on you.
Okay.
She tells you, you tell Zahn. That's what I said.
The Gold Road Companions. Okay. Okay. I'll talk to Zahn. I'll bring her back. Don't you worry.
She shakes her rolling pin at you and she says, you better. I'll be watching you. And then she looks behind you, your companions, and she says, if you got any sense at all, you'll leave this man. He's a brigand and a thief, and he stole me daughter.
I'm gonna say if your daughter left with him, some other man stolen her before.
She inhales deeply through her nose and grips the rolling pin tighter, and she says, grown or not, I won't see my daughter with any pointy ear.
Why not?
You're gonna ask her why?
Yeah. Tell us, lady.
She says, you know well enough. Morel already told you.
Yeah, we'll get it right back. She's I don't know what the good excuse.
We just got to get her out of the point ear, bro. Or do you not think that would go over very well?
So from that, you could infer that her husband was in.
Is she like a human or what?
Yeah, yeah, she's a human,
Okay.
middle age, probably about 45.
Okay, well, I will clear all of this up here in a day or so. And I'll bring Belmer in here, if you want to see him or not. And we'll clear this whole misunderstanding up, okay?
She shakes her fist at you and she says, "Bring me Muriel." Muriel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. She'll be back in a day or so. Safe and sound.
She says, "Aye, she better, or I'll fetch the watch." I'm watching. She
Okay,
points at the
guys.
three of you. She points at the three of you and says, "I'm watching you."
I'm gonna make a comment about her not being able to see pointy ears enough. Is that why she's staring at us?
I'm not sure I understand your statement.
Well, she's worried about her daughter running off with a pointy ear, which means that she's racist. Which means that she probably wants a pointy ear. So
She looks at you with disgust and contempt and walks inside her house. Like turns her nose up at you, like, how dare you?
I'm sorry. I thought we were at King's Garden, not Shippensburg.
All right, what do you guys
But-
want to do?
I guess
Hurry up.
continue to the Rosencrantz.
Okay. Oh, you're still at the Rose and Crown? Which one of you guys has the heads?
I believe Slavik
Okay.
put them in his bag. There's either him or Darren.
Okay.
Which we probably shouldn't give a key quest item to the one person that could never make it.
Excuse me. All right. Well, whoever wants to leave you guys can move.
I'm just getting drunk in the Rose and Crown. No point in doing anything else.
Are you kidding? There's a whole city out there.
Yeah, but they have this great bartender named Carl.
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard it doesn't matter what you order, you're getting a double.
I heard that too. That's his special ability. That's a layer action. Oh, you ordered something? No, you didn't. Okay, so you come to the middle of the commons here, and to the north there's a large tavern, Conqueror's Rest, an imposing statue, an Aurelian king, a marching riding a horse westward, and the Bank of Kingsgarden. This bank will become my wallet. Yeah, the central bank. I'm gonna slide a hand this building here. You can go in if you want. I don't have a map for
Like
it yet.
hand the whole bank.
Yeah, the whole thing.
There's no way they'll ever know.
I want to make a perception check against the bank.
The entire bank is a giant mimic.
That would be hilarious. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. All right, I thought I added the adventure in here. Just give me a second. I have a shitload of maps.
So I was thinking about how mimics would thrive today with all the Amazon boxes.
Yeah, that would be the most genius thing they could do.
Like people forget what they order. It's like they another Amazon box, which they just pick it up. Don't even think twice about it.
Dude, I know I upload. Give me a second, boys. All right, I'm gonna have to populate the NPC.
Oh, we weren't supposed to go here.
No, I forgot the map.
That's okay.
You know how it is.
Just like you forgot that you took that lady's daughter's dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Did
I don't know how big of a problem it
Dan
is.
actually know her or no?
I don't know.
Oh, I was asking Gallandan.
Well, if I do, I forgot.
All right, so you make your way to the Adventurers Guild, and there's this nifty map.
Mickey Mouse.
Nifty map.
Oh, okay.
Shifty cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh, I want to go talk to Tom Cartos.
Okay. You can tell him his maps are awesome, and thanks for making them free.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the map? Yeah.
You scroll up to the top and there's a picture.
Yeah, there's a picture of what your character would see.
They didn't kill that dragon.
Well, actually, there was a black long time ago in their history.
But that doesn't mean they killed it.
That's true. It probably wasn't these guys.
But the fact that we killed it.
I just got to grab a couple more tokens. But you guys are down here. Moving if you like. Oh, shit. They're not supposed to be that big.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I guess that's what she's.
So somehow we're not inside, but we can see what it looks like inside.
Yeah, dude. I forgot to upload the map. See, if I play WoW, I have even less time to work on D&D.
Oh man, I was just saying that the picture above the map is what our characters would see, but we
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
inside yet. But we
Well,
can see
I'm
what
just-
it looked like inside.
I'm just saying, well, the windows are big.
Oh, okay. Just leering through the windows.
Well, you might have to stand on a box, because you know.
Dude, it's a movie set, okay? And action. Okay, well, if you guys aren't ready, I'm gonna go back to my trailer and drink some more coffee. And the actor that plays Gallandan.
You guys can move whenever and do your thing. I'm just in here.
I'm just gonna walk inside and ask.
I don't have
Who do we?
description.
Who do we report? Bounties
Who's the
to?
guy?
The barmaid here is gonna set these tankards down on the table and she says, in the back, Captain Zainab.
I'm gonna house the tankard and circle into the back.
Okay. All right, well, hold on. You see some stuff.
The only thing I see is the train, because here comes the railroad in.
Oh my God, this is not even rare. I just gotta find my folder with the image in it. Oh, is that the one? I think that's it. Yep. All right, so the first table you walk by on the left, you see this kind of. I didn't make screenshots from, but I made that in here for. So you see these guys down here at this table, just enjoying themselves. Anyway, Gradius, she says Captain Zainab in the back. Is anybody out there?
I told you what I wanted to do. You told me to stop.
No, I didn't tell you to stop. I said, wait. And then I said, Captain Plato,
Oh, because they mean something completely different. Yeah, I'm just heading towards the back to turn in the heads.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So you come, you go around the massive stone fireplace with the dragon head mounted on it. And there are a couple, there's a human standing at the center of this table, a half elf carrying a heavy hammer down here, and some kind of, and there's a map here. I forgot to put a map on the table.
I'm gonna ask him how much he's willing to pay for these heads.
Which one?
All of them.
All right. Well, this guy's pouring over the map. This guy's drinking from a tankard, and the dwarf over here scratching his chin, and they kind of turn and look at you at once. The man pouring over the map kind of looks up and says, what do you got?
Well, in this bag's your mom and your brother. And in this bag is your father and sister.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
We can put them back for a price.
And he says, oh, that's all well and good. And as much as I like a good joke, what do you got?
Jet Black's gang.
Jet Black's gang. We got Spike Spiegel's head in here. He says Jet Black? You mean Black Jack?
No, Jet Black, like the fat singer.
Jack Black.
Jack Black. He kind of looks over his shoulder at the guy over here and he just takes a long gulp of his tankard. Eyes you suspiciously. Let's see it then. Who else you got in there?
You know, the guy that wrote the greatest song in the world. He can't play it again, though. It's just a tribute.
We got Jank Blank.
Jank Blank. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that scene. You know that scene in Wolf of Wall Street when all those drugs kick in and DiCaprio's like on the phone and he's trying to say something and he's like, "What are you saying?" Like, all right, it's only funny if you guys also acknowledge it's funny.
What's funny?
Nothing.
Jank Blank's the archer.
What, in the image?
No, Jank Blank.
Jank Blank. I don't know who that is.
He's an archer.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's what he shoots.
Oh. Crotch blanks. All right, this dwarf here is going to look at you, Gradius, and he says, enough fooling around. What do you got?
The whole Blackjack's Guild. At least the ones that matter.
Blackjack Hardway? This guy in the armor asks.
Yeah, that's what he called himself.
You got Blackjack Hardway's head in that bag.
I just dumped the contents of the bag onto the desk
Okay.
or
like
table.
On top of his map.
Yeah.
All right. So you dump the heads out and they all make this like disgusted noise. And the dwarf walks over and looks and he says, by Morden's beard, is that Galvangar's head?
I'm going to tell him yes, and he died the poorest.
And he picks up Nyland's head and pulls the hood back, and the tiefling skin is kind of grayed and yellowed. He drops it in disgust. He says, all right, that's them, all right. How'd you manage to kill them?
I'm going to point over at Gallandan and say that he wasn't much help. But Slavic and I were able to take them down.
I say that we have different interpretations, but the result was the same.
Different interpretations. The guy bound you and was carrying you over his shoulder like a fresh whore.
Yeah, who knows what would have happened.
What happened behind the trees stays behind the trees. Anyways, yeah, so what I asked them, what do they make of it?
They look at the three heads, and the captain's a little disturbed by what you did to his map. And he says, Zoran, pay the man. Zoran gonna finish his tankard there and slap it down on the table when he walks upstairs.
I'm going to ask him what the offer is.
He says, was anyone killed in the attack? Other than the bandits?
I don't remember. Was anyone killed? I don't think so. No. Oh, a couple guards died, didn't they?
He gives you a troubled look and says, let's just keep that bit of news to ourselves, eh?
It's okay. They didn't have any names.
All right, so Zoran comes back downstairs a few minutes later and looks over at the captain, and he says, he nods at him, and he says, we'll give you 425 for the
425.
total.
I'm going to tell him that
We might have to take this to the. We might have to take this to the Dawn Mordens then.
yeah.
He holds his hand up. Wait. I don't see any reason why we should have to involve the military in a matter as simple as this. He says,
As simple as this, you're trying to scalp us.
not at all. No.
Where's my dinner?
My friend, please listen.
Where's my
says,
dinner?
Right now,
You're fucking me.
right now, God damn it. Right now, the watch is paying 250 for Galvangar's head, 100 for Blackjack Hardway, and 75 for Nyland, the mage. And he says, we'll pay you 600.
The people that stole an army's worth of gold are only worth that much.
He shrugs his shoulder and says, The Timorian Trade Commission will not, consortium won't pay out their gold until it's recovered.
So who's to say that we just don't take the gold and don't return it?
They exchange a glance between the three of them, and the Captain Zainab takes his helmet off, sets it on the table, and he says, maybe I could interest you three in a business proposition.
I'm going to. How much should we offer him the map for?
He points at the map, and you can tell that it's a map of the Eastern Gold Road, the same direction that you had just traveled. And it's demarcated around different spots, and, you know, they're just kind of theorizing over different locations. And he says,
No, I'm talking about the map that we have.
No, I know. I'm talking about the map on the table. If you wanted to look at that, that's what they're
Yeah, I was trying to.
They're playing D&D. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to ask my buddies what we should to sell them the map to where the gold is. But I'm gonna ask him what his proposition is.
To buy the map?
No, he said that he had a business proposition.
He said the watch right now. Oh, I'm sorry. He kind of pushes one of the heads off the end of the, and it rolls over towards your feet, Yellen. And he says, right now we're poring over this map, trying to discern the exact location of the stolen coin. And we plan to take it. And the Timorian Trade Consortium can write it off as a loss, and it'll be shared between members of the guild. But if you help us execute this operation, we'll give you a larger share of the profit. He points at the three heads that you threw on his table and says, without their generals, Blackjack's gang is weakened. If we strike quickly enough, they won't have time to regroup and recruit new members. It has been troublesome to try and find their hideout.
I'm gonna ask him for 600 gold pieces for their head, for the heads, and then they have a deal.
600 total?
For the heads,
Okay.
because you were doing 425, but this also means that we'll go help them find the gold.
Are you going to tell him that you're going to help them?
Yeah, and we're gonna help them find the gold for 600 pieces. And then obviously we're still going to do a share of whatever the profit is.
He nods at you and says, we'll pay 600 for the heads. He looks at Zorn, and Zorn digs another from his belt, throws two large pouches at the table. So 600 gold pieces.
I'm gonna look at Gallandan and tell him that he'll finally be able to complete his Michael Jackson impersonation.
It's just one piece of the puzzle there. So we each get 200 then.
Yeah, 200 each. So he's going to tell
Not
you.
bad for going to sleep, huh, Gallandan?
I give you a gloveless clap.
He's going to ask you, he tells you that finding the location of their hideout has been difficult.
I'm gonna tell him that we'll find it with ease.
And he says, very well.
That's why you pay for adventurers like us.
He's going to produce a contract, and Zorn starts writing there, and he says, let's agree on a finder's fee. And he says, we'll give you 25% of the proceeds. with continual dividends of another 15%. The rest of the coin will be invested in the guild, given to its members as a token of goodwill, as we continue to spread influence throughout Kingsgarden.
For how long is that 15% to be paid out?
He scratches his chin for. He looks at Zoran. He says, I think over a 2-year period.
I'm going to scratch my head and ask them where the makeup is.
Where the what?
Where the makeup is.
Why do you need makeup? We have disguise kits.
I need makeup because clearly we're about to go on a date.
The commander kind of wraps his hand on the table. 25% as a finder's fee is a kingly sum.
Oh, a kingly sum, huh? Is that why you're gonna fuck me? Because I'm a king? 25%. We're finding the location of their camp. We've brought you the heads. You are getting 75% of the purse for us to do 100% of the work. That math doesn't add up.
He throws his hand in the air and says, all right, well, make me a counteroffer. You don't know what
50%.
you don't know what you're walking into.
What do you mean we don't know what we're walking into?
He says that Blackjack's gang is tough. Hardy.
So are
fight.
they sending men with us?
He says we can spare men, adventurers. He asks you if you'd like to. He says the Gold Road companions are out in the lounge there, enjoying a couple tankards of ale. I'm sure they'd be happy to. He says otherwise, I can send the discarded. So he says the Gold Road companions can accompany, or the discarded.
Why don't we get back to him on a minute, on that with a minute? I want to piggyback on what Gradius is saying about making an offer and then make a counter offer. Assuming we're working together, maybe I could try persuasion with advantage. I won't say a number though. I'll just try to say, we need to be, accommodated much more highly than that. Because whoever negotiates, I'm not saying this out loud, but whoever negotiates first loses. So I'm going to suggest we need more than what he's offering.
Okay, yeah, you could roll with advantage. If you guys, I'm assuming you guys are assisting each other with negotiation.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. Gallandan normally just takes his cut. If they know about it or not.
All right. All right, with the 12, he considers your offer and he says, he replies to you, Gradius, that you said 50%. We can agree to those terms. However, year over year, you'll take a far less significant. The difference between the 15%, he says that they'll give you 3% year over year. But that the money will be invested into the guild to help spread its influence. And as the guild receives more coin from contracts, the treasury will grow. And 3% is quite a lot of coin. Anytime I invite somebody to, I always have to tell them, you might see some weird shit that doesn't make any sense in the general chat.
Yeah, right? I mean, I feel like this is how Gradius is negotiating right now.
Yeah. All right, so they agreed to 50%, but they tell you that your yearly dividend percent, 3%. And then they say, if we have a deal, sign the contract. And choose who you wish to travel with.
I'm going to ask if he has any men competing in the tournament.
He says, well, these aren't exactly my men. He says,
Well, he's the leader.
he nods. He says, aye, but I was a member of Foremost. And he says, I can't speak for any of its members moving to compete now, other than the men I keep around me. And he says, our hope is that while folk around here are busy with the tournament, it'll give our members much more up get ahead. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was watching my Discord thing and I wasn't sure if it was working.
Why? Who have you invited to the Discord lately?
Well, Sarah wanted to sit in and see how D&D run. Sent her a Discord invite, but she never showed up, which is totally fun.
There's a surprise.
Yeah. So do you guys agree to the 50%?
If they do.
Well, I guess let me know.
Which one do you think they have?
What if we go without the men? Take all the gold ourselves and say, fuck them. King's purse would go a long way in spreading the word of the Raven Queen.
Let's Yeah, I'm also thinking about maybe we could just go and get the coin and the treasure for ourselves.
Maybe next time they'll offer us more than 50.
I mean, they were pretty quick to offer us 50% of it.
Let's walk for now. Ask him if he's sending he's sending the Gold Road people to get it or no.
They don't know where it is, and I haven't told them that we had literally have a map to his hideout or to their hideout.
Yep. Yeah, they don't. They're unsure of where the.
And that's the one we made a note of, right?
We have the map to his hideout.
Oh, the literal. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we picked it up when we killed him.
It also demarcates major trade routes throughout the kingdom.
So other places to rob.
Damn, are you guys about to become fucking bandits? The sticky bandits.
I'm sure it will be worse than that.
I'm sure it'll be worse than that. I don't know, man.
We're sticky because we're covered in blood.
Oh no. I got a Christmas movie you're gonna love.
Oh my god! Did you guys see the meme that is Joe Burrow, and it says that he's just a younger version of Macaulay Culkin, and has a picture of each other beside each other, and it looks eerily resemblable.
Does it?
Yeah,
That's funny.
better stay away from that meth there, Joe Burrow.
Dude, his brother is a big actor now. He's in Succession on HBO, which is actually really extremely good. And he's got a big role in that. And he looks, yeah, Macaulay Culkin. Who's the kid? Is it Fuller that's gonna pee the bed? He likes to pee the bed or whatever.
Yeah, that's his younger brother.
Yeah, that's him as an
Yeah.
adult. He's a good actor. He's great in Succession. I mean, I can't wait for the next season. It's kind of like it reminds me of like Game of Thrones in the business world. It's crazy.
Go with their offer.
Okay.
So you find the Gold Road companions here.
You want to talk to the Gold Road companions?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you would have to go out into the
To the different room. Okay.
out here. Okay.
Go to a bar hand and ask which one are they, and if there's someone named Zahn.
Okay. So there's a barmaid here, and she nods over in the direction, and she says, "Aye." She says, "They're right there." She says, "That's the man you're looking for, Zahn Blackhand." And there's a picture of him up in just these guys that are sitting around the table.
Does he have on a black glove?
No.
Is it Gallandan's doppelganger? Evil
Good.
doppelganger.
Could be.
I thank her and tip her a silver coin.
She takes it graciously and gives you a curtsy head nod bow thing and says, "Thank you, sir." And she says, "Wait, take these." And she hands you this, the tray of tankards she has. She says, "That'll go a long way with it."
I'll give
Not
him
as
the
long of a
tankard.
way as I'm gonna go with you.
You gonna hit on the barmaid?
I mean, it's everything I've ever wanted as a dwarf. Beer and boobs.
Well, I mean, by all means, you can do that.
Is this game rated again?
It's unrated.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh, that's great, because instead of hitting on the barmaid, I'm just gonna hit the barmaid.
He insulted my honor. Backhand.
Are you hitting somebody again? All right, what do you guys want to do?
I want to talk to find Zahn and ask about Relman and Mirielli, if they know anything about them.
Okay, so Zahn is actually standing right here. Well, he's sitting at the table. Technically, it'd be this table, and they're all crowd. It's supposed to be a round table. You know what
Are they eating pretzels?
What's that?
Are they eating pretzels?
They are So as you walk up here, you see a human in light faded purple robes clutching a goblet. There's an elven woman with a long spear and a headband in the back, leaning against the wall here. So here's this human with the robe, elven woman with the spear, a halfling eating a wedge of cheese with a bird perched atop her head. A human in plate armor with a flowing red cape, drinking a tankard, and an elf with blonde hair with a quiver slung across his back and an intricate wooden bow. And he's clutching a bottle and a goblet.
Omlin?
Goblet.
Oh. I think that's Velman. I ask him, are you Velman?
You're just gonna walk up and say that?
Yeah.
All right, so you walk up and Relmarin's in the middle of telling the story to the human over here. They're kind of just regaling these adventuring. You walk up and you ask him if he's Relmarin. He takes a swig from his goblet and looks up at you and says, "Who's asking?"
I say, we'll get to that in a minute. But I tell him about a strange encounter I had earlier with this lady with the, what do you call that thing? A roller thing and Marielle.
A rolling pin?
Yeah, rolling pin. I asked him what he knows about that.
So you say the name Muriel and he's around and he says, "Gods be good, man. She didn't follow you here, did she?"
No, but I got mistaken for you, I believe.
He
It
kind
was a
of
bit of a hassle just before I came here.
he scoffs at that and gives you the once over from head to toe, and he says, "You're not nearly as handsome as me."
Persuade him. Trying to get my persuasion out.
I slap him.
You know what this is? Slap on Titan.
The 17 hit.
God damn. All right, let me open his stat block. I didn't.
Yeah, you just can't be going around saying stuff like that.
Yeah, 17 hits.
Honor.
What?
I'm defending Galadan's honor.
All right, well, you need to move over here if you're going to smack him.
I don't have to move over here. My tankard does.
You're going to hit him with your giant tankard.
No, because that might actually kill him. That might be in trouble.
You got to be right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You will be.
Dude, I have the confidence of a priest that did a little boy and had her parents pay. Or had his parents pay.
All right, you slap him.
And I'm gonna say we're gonna pretend you didn't say that last part. And
All right, hold on. So Gradius walks over and slaps him. Saving, while you're standing over here by the hearth, sorry, I moved you. You hear this voice coming from your left. And it's this burly dwarven voice. And it says, well, Albie, is that really you? Morden's beard, they'll let anyone in here days. Strides over here, and it's his burly dwarf, black, like salt and pepper colored hair, and he's smoking this long stem pipe, and he's holding 2 tankards in one hand. And he runs over to you, Savik, and he punches you in the arm, and he says, you old bastard, I knew you'd show up here.
I'm going to look over at him and be like, and who are you?
I'm gonna cock my arm back, ready for a slap.
He says, it's me, Dinkle.
Dinkle.
Dinkle Drunkleshank.
Dingleberries.
Dinkle.
Don't you remember me?
I only know of a Dundrel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dundrel. My bad. Dundrel Drunkleshank. My bad, dude.
It's okay, Dinkle.
Yikes. He says, well, that's what they're calling me these days. I don't. So he comes over and he's going to start talking.
Okay.
All right, so Gradius, you slap him. Roll your damage, your unarmed damage. It's
I mean, I'm not actually trying to do any damage. I mean,
well, you're not slapping him if you're not doing damage. Two. All right. Does anybody want to do anything?
Dave says that he's like, you could go ahead and redact that last statement.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what happened. You slap him. As soon as your hand strikes his face, he kicks the chair out from behind him, throws the goblet on the table, and breaks the glass bottle in his hand. This elf stands up straight from the wall and grabs her spear. And Zahn over here jumps to his feet. Relmarin,
I'm gonna hold my hands out and say to all of these people, what, do you want to make the swear?
the elf scoffs at you and he says, do you want to die today, dwarf?
The only way I'd die is balls deep in your mother.
He says, it's a good thing you're a cleric. You can meet your god today. And soon.
I'm gonna tell him, well, you big tough guy, make the square.
He tells you that if you want to do, we have to go outside the city or fight in the Ring of Valor. Or if you'd rather settle this at the tournament.
Oh, you'll be in the tournament, huh? It'll be a real shame when you come against us. I hope you have your affairs in order by then.
He scoffs and looks at you and Galandan and says, you know, it's not a fight to the death in the tournament, but accidents do happen.
Oh yeah, accidents. He broke the glass bottle, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
once-
him to stab me with.
I once heard that Donkey Jank's entire career was made up of accidents.
I accidentally carved a swath of across half a continent.
That's what you call an accident.
So, does he do it?
He looks at you and then looks at the bottle and he shakes his head and he says, "I'd be a fool. Thank you. They'd hang me for it."
Can I try and swipe it out of his hand?
Sure. You want to try and grab it or just swat it out of his
Yeah.
hand?
I want to grab it,
You
and
wanna
then I
grab
want to
it?
stab myself with it.
Okay. Is there? I mean, is there any reason why?
You'll see.
Okay. Well, roll sleight of hand.
Boom.
All right, Gallandan's assisting you, so you can roll with it. So roll again. Damn. All right. Well, with the 17, you managed to reach out and snatch that broken bottle out of his hand.
I'm just gonna stab myself in the arm.
Okay.
What's the damage?
4 points of damage.
All right. I'm gonna look at him and say, I don't have to meet my God today. I've already met her. And then I'm gonna cast Heal Wounds on myself and heal the damage that I just inflicted on myself, and say that the Raven Queen protects me. I know she does not protect you.
Hmm. I'm just trying to think of how he would respond.
I mean, how would you feel if some crazy guy stabbed himself?
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he would just have like a loss for words as he stares at you and wonders, like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
All right. Well, maybe he just won't say anything for a few minutes and then he'll just look around and then sheepishly say, "Well, I'll see you at the tournament, dwarf." And he waves you off, like he waves you off, like, "Get out of my sight." I'm sorry, Gallandan. Yes, you're gonna ask Muriel.
Well, I just thought it was funny because that's the reason why I went over to talk to him. It turned into this.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Gradius is gonna be smacking a lot of people.
Only people that show disrespect.
It wasn't really disrespectful what he did. So I don't even know if I want to know. Maybe I'll turn to that other guy's supervisor or his boss.
Okay, Zon.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just get the story from him.
All right, so you're gonna ask him about Relmarin's history with Muriel.
Yeah, what's the story? You see him running around with someone, and where is she?
He says, I'm not sure why the girl's mother is all tis. She left of her own accord as a grown woman. We were in town here a couple years ago, and she was a barmaid, a tavern wench, and she had eyes for old Relmer over there, and of course he was happy to oblige. And when we left town, she decided to come along, and I think that's all you need to know.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check to see if I think it's telling the truth?
I think that would be an insight.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Can you move a little closer to your mic? She left town with them, he said. After this roll, I'm going to have to 2 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So here's what you can discern with the 23. His story seems truthful, but incomplete. So think on that, and I'll be.
Well, obviously, Gallandan, I'm going to let you know that I think there's something missing from the story.
Yeah, something.
Something just doesn't feel right that you should probably apply pressure.
Okay.
Maybe-
Okay.
Maybe give him a little slap.
A slap in the right direction.
You know what? I have an idea. I wonder if any of these guys he travels with, do they have any like beast or animal companions?
I don't know. I'll have to wait for the DM to get back. He's on bathroom break number 2.
Dundrel has an owl. Oh, only unlike my owl, his owl is kind of like a little bit janky.
Yeah, I feel like if there was some kind of animal, I could try to communicate with them and see if I could nondescriptly get some details. That's all I got. Otherwise, I can try to charm people. Well, persuade. Disguise self.
Okay.
Any of the what's they called? Let me wrote it down. Gold Road companions. Does any of them have a an animal companion?
The druid has a songbird.
Okay. I would like to talk to the birdie.
Okay, she's over here.
And I shared with Gallandan that I didn't think the story was complete.
Okay.
You know, us clerics, we have a lot of people confess to us. We can really see through half truths.
Okay. Let me check in with Savik. Savik, are you good?
Yeah, I want to do some. Well, not quite. I want to
Okay.
do some more dialogue with Dundrel.
Okay. Let me know when you'd like to do that.
All right.
Okay. Gallandan, Gradius, what's going on over here, you ruffians? You tavern ruffians? You guys are a bunch of hooligans.
Now, I believe Galadan is talking to the bird.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I would like to order. You say the druid, the lady.
She
Is
is,
there many ladies in here?
yeah. Yeah, there are. This is an elf, female halfling, female barmaid. I'll add a couple more.
I mean, I'm just gonna go up because I'm buying everybody a drink.
Okay. Yeah, so there's like 6 women, maybe more.
Okay, so just send 6 of them, whatever they're having right now, another one.
Okay. All right. Well, the barmaid's going to ask you if you're a member of the guild. It's on the house.
Yeah, I'm considering it.
Well, as long as you've accepted money on a contract, then you're a member of the guild. Well, I shouldn't say that. You're eligible for free beverages as someone who has done work for the guild. Like you took the 600 gold pieces for the heads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, your drinks would be paid for as like a perk.
So, what's the money scale ratio looking like? Us getting 600 gold pieces, is that a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we're rich bitches?
I would say you can be comfortable for now.
You can buy like 6,000 Happy Meals.
Dude, I went to McDonald's today.
Can I buy a house?
No. Well, no. I doubt it. I need to look up.
I can't afford a
Happy Meal.
house.
Just say Happy Meals $10.
I'm going to tell Slavik that if he's really from the future, he should take his 200 gold pieces and deposit them in the bank.
The Dungeon Master's Guide on page 1, cost for constructing various buildings. The cheapest of them, the Guild Hall and Trading Post, cost 5,000 gold pieces.
But that's a guild hall. That's not a pre-built house in
Yeah,
the city.
I'm trying to look it up.
But regardless, with interest rates, put it in a money market account with compounding interest. And that way, in 2,000 years, when you go back to the future, you'll be super rich.
From 4th edition, a single-story wooden house with 3 rooms is 1,000 gold pieces. A 2-story wooden house, a 2-story wooden building is 1,530 by 40 feet. A stone building is 3,000 gold pieces. A tower is 10,000 gold pieces. A mansion is 40,000. A keep, 75. A palace, 175. And a castle, 250,000. That's from 4th edition.
Okay.
I'm good with those. If Dave, are you good with those? I don't want them to break the.
Oh, sorry, I'm probably good with them. I was just looking up how much a gold piece is worth in real life.
How much is it worth, I wonder?
Well, what would be a gold piece? Is it an ounce?
Yeah, I think.
So like $25? Is that what the price of an ounce is then?
Yeah, but I mean, like, what the equivalent in D&D? I'll find it. Anyways.
Okay. This is just from Google. Using the standard D&D weight of 50 gold pieces to a pound, we would find that each gold piece would be worth about $285.
Damn.
Holy
Those are some
shit.
heavy gold pieces.
My God.
That's a big ass coin you got in your pocket. Or are you just happy to see me?
Here's a Reddit post from 2008. In D&D 5th edition, one gold piece is set as being the same value as approximately one goat, 2 nights stay in a modern inn, not including food, boarding only, or 5 gallons of ale, average quality. And then it goes through everything else here. So he comes out to $104.
Yeah, but the price of gold has gone through the roof since
Oh, yeah.
2008.
Yeah, this is from 2018.
Oh,
So it's-
18.
Yeah, I would say that
So it's probably like
285 is probably,
125.
I think 285 was probably closer, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I went off on tangent land. So 1,000 gold pieces could get you a single one-story house. Let me know if you guys want to invest in real estate.
Get us an agent. We're
Okay.
gonna start HGTV in our D&D world.
Don't you mean KGTV?
What's that?
King's Garden TV?
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
Are you gonna love it or list it?
I'm gonna do both. All right, let's save it. Sorry, man, we've been focused on this. How about you go?
All right. I'm going to look over at Dundrel, extremely perplexed, and just say, how did you get here?
Oh, so Slavik does recognize it.
Yep.
He scratches his chin and he says, "Oh, come on, lad." He says, "I can't part with all my secrets."
I'm going to look at him and be like, well, there's only one way that I can guess that you got here. And it was in typical Drunkleshank fashion. You tripped and fell into the portal before it closed.
He slaps his belly and laughs and he says, "You know me too well. I was only following after you. The fates saw it to spit me out here.
I'm
I
gonna
can't complain though. The ale's good."
I'm gonna face palm and be like, you do realize that you're the cause of this predicament that we're in right now.
He shrugs and hands you a tankard. He says, "Listen, that's true, but it's not all bad.
I'm gonna look
Have
at
you
him.
seen some of these ladies?" And he just kind of he gives you one of these.
I'm gonna I'm gonna nod and agree with him, and I'm gonna nod and agree with him, and I'm gonna nod and agree with him, and I'm gonna say it also gives us a fantastic opportunity to study the inception of the arcane here in the material world.
He nods at you eagerly and he says, "Wait till you of their arcane university."
Oh, I'm glad that you finally decided to do some work, and it seems like you
He
already.
says, "Well, you go ahead. Sorry."
seems like you, for once in your life, that you're actually on top of something that I'm not.
He says, he elbows you in the ribs and he says, I've been on top of more than that since I got. If you catch my meaning. Ha ha.
I do.
He says, later on, after we finish these beers, these ales, we should go to Lady Maud's.
You're more than welcome to go there. I, however, would like to go visit the Arcane Quarter.
He waves his hand at you. He says, aye, there's time, there's time. And he says, he asks you, what do you think of the material plane thus far?
I'm gonna say it's quite different from home.
He nods. Aye, it has a beauty of its own.
It certainly does.
So he hands you a tankard. Do you take it?
Yep.
All right. So you take it, and he raises the tankard to you and says, to home. May we see it again one day.
I'll cheers to that. I'll give him a cheers and then take a swig of ale.
Okay. The ale is room temperature. It's malty and sweet, and they go down easy. So Dundrel finishes his, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, and looks at it, and he says, "Another?"
No, I'm gonna pass.
Come on, lad.
I don't carry
One more.
I don't carry. All right,
One more. One
All
more.
right.
One more.
I'll
He
have
says,
another
"I will-"
one.
All right. So he gets you two more, and he brings you over to this table here, and he says, "Sit. Tell me about your journey here."
Well, all right. I'll give him the short version of shortly after opening the certainly opening after the opening of the portal from the Arcane Sanctum in the Feywild. I was tossed asunder into the I don't know what you call it, but
Would that
I-
be? Would that? I guess you wouldn't go through the astral sea, would you?
I don't know.
Maybe just the space between realms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell him that I was ejected from said portal in the middle of a forest and had tried to make my way to Kingsgarden with my adventuring companions here. I'm gonna point over and acknowledge this is Galadan Moonwhisper, and then I'm gonna point over to Gradius Broken Iron. I was like, Dundrel, I met these adventurers on the way to Kingsgarden. And we trekked on the road for several days, fighting the bandits, and eventually making our way to Kingsgarden for the tournament.
He raises his tankard to the two of you and he says, well met. Our boy here is lucky to have found you. From what I hear, the Gold Road is quite dangerous.
Very much so. And it's like, I'm gonna tell Drunkleshank. Have you noticed how depleted your powers are since traveling through the space between the realms?
He sets his tankard down and nods solemnly and he says, my magic is weak, as if I've lost me connection to the weave.
Yes, you're exactly right.
He scratches his beard and he says, my only thought is that we're so far in the past. The magic here is fresh, new.
It does have a bit of new energy about it here. I'm gonna look at him and say, do you happen to have the gilded flower on you on your person? I'm gonna look at him and say, mine was broken during the traveling between realms.
Can you pop down into the next channel?
Yep. So I'm going to ask him about if he has the flower or not. Well-
You can roll for it and see if he has it. If it's a maybe.
I assume you want that for the summon face spirit spell?
You are correct.
Yeah, I don't see there's not a lot of information on it. It's just a somatic component.
Yep.
Should we just roll?
Sure.
All right, go ahead and roll a d20, and then what do you want? Odds or evens? He's got it.
I'll take evens.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So you tell him that yours was destroyed, and he shakes his head bitterly, and he says, "You're in luck, lad." He reaches into his pouch and gingerly holds this gilded flower up, and he says, "Mine survived." Probably because I was so drunk.
I'm going to look at him and laugh and say, I don't doubt it. In fact, I know how drunk you were. I'll go ahead and take the flower and say,
Okay.
my concern was with how new magic is around here, that it might have been difficult to have someone craft one of these.
Sorry, what was the last part of that?
I was saying with how new magic is around here, that it might have been extremely difficult for someone here to craft this.
He nods at you. He says, I think craftsmanship of that quality is a little beyond them yet.
I know, and yet it's so common in the Feywild.
He nods and stares at the gilded flower for a moment and looks at you and he says, put it to good use. Don't waste it.
I will. I'm going to look at
Slammed
him
his-
and say, Just do me one favor.
Hi.
Um, I'm going to say, be sure and take care of your owl for me.
He nods and chuckles. He says, I will. You as well.
Okay.
He says, I'll be around. Are you going to the tournament?
Yes, eventually at some point I'd like to go.
Good way to make some coin.
Yep.
So he says that when you're ready to leave, he'll go with you up to the Arcane University, tell you what he's learned. But
Okay.
afterwards, we're going out on the town.
Okay.
He said, you better eat something. You're going to need it.
All right. I'll be sure and let you know whenever I head to the arcane quarter. Don't be too drunk. We
He
have a
says,
lot
oh,
of work.
You know,
We have a lot of
you
work.
know me.
We have a lot of work to do.
My bad. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine.
He grins and finishes the rest of his tankard, and he says, oh, you know me. He says, I operate much better drunk than I do sober. You can't trust a sober dwarf, you know?
I'm gonna look at him and say, I know that, but I've seen your blade singing while you're drunk.
He says, aye, and who else has lived to tell the tale?
You look like a wild kid throwing a temper tantrum, stumbling around.
He says, believe it or not, I heard in this part of the world they do that as a regular thing. The dwarf clans. They call them battle ragers. These mad lads, all done up in this spiky plate armor. They don't use weapons. They just run in and twirl their bodies around. Mad lads.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at him and say, well, perhaps there's hope for you yet.
He nods and lets out a large belch, a loud belch, and says, aye, I might fit right in.
All right, I'm gonna nod my hat, tip my hat, and I'll say, I'll see you around, Drunkleshank.
See you later, Bloomline. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Okay.
All right, we'll go back across the tavern here. So, Galandan, you send the cuties a drink and go over to the druid, talking about them birds. You're going to ask the bird about Relmarin, Elf Guy, and Muriel, and give the bird a good berry. All right, so the wenches pass out the drinks, and the halfling takes it with thanks, and the bird chirps happily as you feed it the berry. And now speak to me in your bird voice. You want the bird to speak to you?
No, that's the new king.
Oh. Oh no, I can't. Can't do that. The bird is an NPC. You know how birds sound. Can you speak to animals? Show me your character sheet. It's gonna be that gif from Parks and Rec where it's like, it's just a paper that says I can do what I want. fairy, and then you cast speak with animals. And geez, I wonder, can the bird speak full sentences?
It's pretty smart, especially crows and stuff.
That's true.
And birds can talk. I can bring up a YouTube video.
Oh no, I know they can. It says beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. So does that mean it wouldn't know anything past yesterday?
I think it's suggesting like beasts can give you information.
Okay.
What they can perceive or have perceived. Or if we look at like bird intelligence, what do we really know about what they know?
I'll allow it. They are pretty smart. Maybe it can speak to you in incomplete sentences. So it'll tell you that you ask about Muriel and Relmarin. Good memories, extensive communication, planning for the future, remembering the past. Interesting. Okay. That's fine then. Yeah. So, the bird squawks back at you, Relmarin and Muriel. No, I don't know.
I can do your job for you.
You should. In this instance, you should. Make the bird noises. So it says that Relmarin and Muriel,
Squonk.
yeah, tweet, tweet, tweet. I don't know. Relmarin and Muriel were lovers, and she decided to leave the city with him to go adventuring. And they went into the Westerlands, and she followed them onto the peninsula, the northern peninsula, past the old Westguard Citadel. Or I'm sorry, yeah. No, Westguard Keep, past the old Westguard Keep and onto the peninsula. And she says, she tweets like vampires.
Good. Do you guys know my middle name's Van Helsing?
With him well spin.
And I should say it's the northern peninsula.
Well, why isn't she still with them? Bitten. Okay. Well,
Sounds like a hot time.
The bird's gonna kind of like hop around and think a little bit. So like 4 or 5 months.
Got it.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And the bird tweets at you. Tweet, tweet, tweet. I can't do the bird voices, guys.
Appreciate that. I'm looking at bird gifts.
Did you want to know anything else?
No, I think I have everything I need to know here.
Okay. Gradius, we haven't heard from you in a while. What are you doing?
Winding up a slap.
Oh, anybody that pisses me the fuck off, he says.
What can I say? He's a grumpy dwarf. No, basically I'll just be drinking ale, waiting for these two to finish up.
Okay. Is anybody trying to do anything else or?
No, I'm good in the Adventurers Guild for now.
Okay. All right. So did you guys want to leave?
I guess. I just feel bad leaving since you had to scramble to make that map.
No, I already had it downloaded. I just had forgotten to upload it. Sometimes on the weekends, I usually like go through and spend like an hour working on D&D. And sometimes I'll just go through Reddit and like look for cool maps and I just save them into a folder. And if I'm thinking about it, I go in and I try and upload them all in like batches so then I have them and I know what I need to prep. And this is just one that I forgot. So no, don't worry about it. I mean, I'm sure you guys will be back here sometime.
But yeah, how long do we have till the tournament? Will we have time to go to reclaim or to go check out the shit? What's the word I'm looking for? The bandit camp, or should we stay in town?
There's like a week until the tournament starts.
So we would have time to go check out the bandit camp if that's what they
You
wanted
should,
to do.
yeah, you should have time. You'd make better time if you purchased some mounts or a wagon.
I heard of there was this legendary mount that was a pony.
A pony named Joey. He's like that horse from Lord of the Rings that's the lord of all horses. He's the lord of all ponies.
Joey.
All right. Well, what do you guys want to do now?
Well, I put my vote in is to go sack the bandit camp.
Yeah, I'm cool with doing the bandit camp as well.
Okay.
Crash Bandy Camp.
Did you guys want to purchase any mounts or anything, or perhaps rest before you left town, or?
How, according to the map that we have, how far away is the bandit camp? How many days? How many days are we from the bandit camp?
Let me look here. Uh, 6 days.
6 days. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 6 day ride. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's a 6 day walk. Let me look up the mounted speed.
So where will we go find horsies?
Uh, well, anywhere really in the city you could get horses. Just give me a second. With a mount, you could do 3 miles an hour. No, that can't be right. That's the same amount of speed that you go in a day.
Well, it sounds like we don't have much of a choice but to at least get some mounts if we want to make it back for the tournament.
Yeah, so how do you guys want to proceed? Um, so if you win the tournament, yes, you would gain much fame and glory from that.
Tournament at night or in the day?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it at night or in the day for the tournament?
The tournament? The tournament will be held during the day. Do you get advantages to combat at night as a moon elf?
I like the moon.
That makes sense.
Plus, I have dark vision.
Nice.
But you didn't know that.
I didn't. Please remind me at every opportunity. Even if there's not an opportunity to remind me, please do. All right. So if you guys want to purchase horses, you could go to the trade quarter. You could try and purchase horses from someone in the commons, but the market is going to be your best bet.
Okay.
Like a saber cat mount.
Yeah, that's what elves ride.
Dude, they have that. It's $15 a month.
Thing at 1 gold is $280.
Yeah, that's probably true adjusted for inflation. So did you guys want to buy mounts? Okay. Well, you probably have to make your way to the trade quarter for that.
You know what the Dawn Wardens ride?
The Dawn Wardens typically ride war horses. You know,
Okay,
if they're not lost in enemy territory and playing a cavalier, they ride war horses. You know.
Look in the chat.
Oh, a swift night saber. Oh, a striped dawn saber. That sounds cool. Oh, that's an item in World of Warcraft. I wonder what it looks like.
Looking at the picture.
Yeah, me too. That's what it looks like. Very cool.
Though I do need to call it pretty soon, guys.
Oh no, we'll call it after you guys purchase your mounts, and then we can pick up from the. We'll pick it up with you guys heading to the bandit camp.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
Okay. Oh shit! I just closed the fucking game. My bad. Okay, so you guys make your way back to the trade quarter, and you'll have to find somebody who can direct you towards a place where you can purchase mounts. Well, don't all jump at once, guys.
There we go. Buy them out.
What?
Buying them out.
You're buying a mount? All right, well, I'll just tell you since you can go a couple different places. You can go to the Victus Mercantile Guild, the Gnome Depot.
Gnome Depot.
Gnome Depot. The Golden Road Caravan Company has horses for sale. Or you
Any
could,
lightsabers.
I don't know, you could go check. You could also try the military quarter as well. Oh, I guess you could have bought them at the Adventurers Guild, my bad.
Let's see. Let's go to the. Let's see what they. Do you guys want to see what they have at the guild?
The Adventurers Guild?
No, the Oh, you said the Gold Road Caravan Company.
Okay, so you make your way to the Gold Road Caravan Company. It's a very large building made of stone and timber. And there are all kinds of craftsmen milling about. It's kind of like an open warehouse. So you go in and there are woodworkers and ironworkers working on caravans. So there's a bunch of different craftsmen around. So as you make your way in, you could maybe find somebody to talk to if you wished.
All right. I'll go ahead in and just find the first merchant there and ask if they could point me in the directions of essentially the stables.
Okay. All right, so you come up on one of the tradesmen, and he kind of points you towards the back of the warehouse, back towards this direction. He says, "Keep going there. Horses are around back."
Okay. I'll
All
start.
right, so if you go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I'll start making my way through the craftsmen and vendors and so on and so forth until I reach the back, find the horses and whatnot, mounts.
Okay. All right, so you make your way through the rest of the warehouse, and like I said, there's woodworkers, ironworkers, leather workers. They're out outfitting these really nice caravans that you can assume are going to make their way to Moria to carry trade goods. All right, so you go around back, and there's a stable there. A couple different stable hands working with horses and other mounts that are available. So here's what they have available. They have draft horses, riding horses, ponies, and war horses. And you could also purchase a donkey or a mule. And then they also sell armor. They sell barding to protect your mount, and saddles.
Okay. I'm gonna ask
So
how
a saddle
much.
gives you advantage on any check you make to remain mounted.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys, I'm just going to drop a screenshot in the chat with the prices. I just highlighted really what they have available. They have other stuff like sled, stabling, wagons, saddlebags, but in terms of what you would actually need,
I'm gonna go with a riding horse and a military saddle.
okay? What about the rest of you guys?
Lightsaber at Metal Depot.
What's that?
Lightsaber at Gnome Depot.
I mean, you can go ask.
Okay.
Right, so you go into the Gnome Depot and you see these guys. Let me pull up an image. Give me a minute. They're all kind of dressed like this. These little gnomes running around in orange aprons with khakis on.
Hmm.
All right, so you're going to go into the Gnome Depot, and I have a map for that, but I'll save it. What are you asking them?
Lightsaber.
A lightsaber.
This looks fun.
Well, I'm going to look this up here and see if they have it. All right, here's what they have. So you go in and you ask about a night saber, and they say that they have some kind of. They have only a couple of them on hand, and they're extremely exotic and expensive mounts.
Oh, okay. Can I go for a test drive?
No, you have to purchase it, or you can't take it. Because they're so rare and exotic, they're 500 gold pieces.
Ooh.
There's only a couple of them on hand.
What about, is there like a rent to own?
Nope.
I'll tell them. I'll tell them the Adventurers Guild has promised to pay for it.
The gnome laughs and he says, "Oh, if only the world ran on credit."
Maybe it will someday.
Gnome thinks for a minute and says, "That would be a shitty world."
Especially when the government can price hike interest rates another 1%.
Yep.
Nothing fine. Just give me a camel.
Want a camel?
We're going to do a free market, but not really, because we're going to intervene all the time.
Right? All right. If you're going to purchase a camel, it'll tell you that when you get a little bit more money, come back, because they don't have too many people that purchase them these days.
Dave should have 50 gold point.
The
Gold coins.
Night Saber mount is 500 gold pieces.
Oh,
I feel like that ought to be close to what you have, though. You made a lot of money on the way here.
well, I only used 100, so he can have 100 of mine.
Jesus. Where's this generosity whenever I'm trying to keep a hellhound puppy?
Different character.
I take
different
one
morals.
hellhound puppy and all of a sudden I'm a bad guy. Then we pop
You
into
were trying to
Auralis.
control something you couldn't possibly control.
We pop into Auralis and Dave's and Kyle's over here like, "Hey man, here, have my 100 gold," which is like the equivalent of like $2,800. Like, no, more than that.
Dude, gotta get him a
$28,500.
striped saber.
All right, well, if you're gonna give him the 100, how much gold do you have with that 100 gold, Gallon Dan?
Like, that would be 500.
That would be 500.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess it pays to have good friends.
Pays to have rich friends.
All right. Here's the stat block for the Saber Cat. It's an exotic mount. You'll need an exotic saddle. They're 60 gold pieces.
Wait, how much did it cost? 400 or 500?
500 for the mount and 60 for the exotic saddle.
Yo, your mount gets like can attack and stuff. That's awesome.
All mounts can attack. Your horses
with-
can attack.
Not with clawing.
No, that's true.
They can't pounce either.
That's true. All right, yeah, I'll give you the Saber Cat mount. Dude, I'm pretty sure the elk has a stronger stat block than that.
How would you know? It was always dead.
Damn, what the fuck, bro? There's a 1/4 of a CR. Maybe I should give you that one instead. Because that's closer to what the actual mounts are. It still gets pounds. What's the difference between them? Let me look here. I really don't see any. Okay. I tell you what, we're gonna do the young saber cat instead. And then here's the barding for it. If you wanted to armor it up, this is what you could do. Here's the stat block, and then here are the variants for saber cat armor. So think about that. When you get a little bit more coin, maybe you can purchase some barding for your mounts. And as long as your mounts don't die, those of you that bought the riding horses, you can always trade those in. Happy?
I guess.
Dave should be happy.
Camel was kind of embarrassing.
What?
That camel was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having to ride around on a camel. All right, well, with that, why don't we go ahead and call it here so you guys purchased your mounts, and we'll pick it up next week with you guys going to confront the bandits in the bandit camp. It's a 3-day ride there. I need to write that down.
Unless we push our horses.
Yeah, but that's going to make it tough for you to get back if you have exhaustion. Up to you, though. All right, so yeah, we'll call it there, guys. Did you guys
We
have
should
fun?
just be like what is it, the Patriot, when he runs with 2 horses until one goes lame and then he just hops on the other.
Is that in the Patriot?
I'm not sure. I know I've seen it in a movie. I don't know which one it is.
How about, have you ever seen Last of the Mohicans?
I have not.
So Daniel Day-Lewis is like, he's a warrior in the French and Indian War, and he's running around and he literally shoots like 2 muskets, one after the next. Like, I think he's running. Anyway, yeah, let's end it there, guys. Did you guys have fun with the session?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go though.
Awesome. Yeah, next time we'll have actual combat and stuff, but it was cool to have just some social encounters. Oh, okay, he did have to just go. All right, guys. Well, I hope it was fun. I know it was all social encounters, but, sometimes you need that.
I don't know. Those store clerks, man. They be asking for some slapping.
Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, I guess we'll see what comes of that. There's a legal.
Nothing. I just call it aggressive negotiations.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
It's not like he's actually murder hoboing.
That's true. That's definitely true.
All I'm gonna do is when an elf goes to the guard about a dwarf slapping them, I'm gonna be like, you're pretty embarrassed when you get slapped by somebody this size, huh?
That's funny. Wes, did you enjoy the session?
I did.
Awesome. Sorry I got your friend's name wrong.
Oh, don't worry about it at all.
Sorry, I thought I had it written down here the right way. So, yeah, I
was
thought
funny.
it was good. It's a good change of pace to just do the social encounter thing and let you guys go shopping around and all that. I
Yeah.
think those are the really good role play sessions. So,
Yeah. I enjoy that a lot.
well, I'm glad, guys. We'll call it here, and we'll pick it up next week, and I'll talk to you dudes in the morning.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
later.
good.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
See you guys.